Welcome back to my channel Lomzy Sews. In today's sewing tutorial, I will show you how to cut a buba top with bell sleeve. It's a very simple tutorial and is beginner friendly. If this is what you would like to learn, make sure not to skip any part of this video so that you don't miss any sewing tips and tricks. First, I'm going to fold my fabric into two, as you can see me do, and I'm going to square out a line. This line will serve as the shoulder line. I'll be cutting the back first. With the back, I'll use it to cut out the front. So first I'm going to do is to mark the shoulder to the armhole length, which is 10 inches, and from the shoulder to the length of the top, which is 20 inches. I'm going to go ahead and square this line out. Remember, you can also cut the front and back together, but I'm cutting this because of the way my design is placed. Next is to mark the shoulder width. For me to do that, you're going to take the measurement from one side of the shoulder bone to the other, whatever that is, divide it by 2, and you're going to mark it here. Mine is 8.5 inches. I'm going to mark it and square it. Next will be for me to mark the shoulder slope. So from this shoulder line, I'm going to come down 1.5 inches, and for the neck width, I'm going to make it 3 inches and connect these two lines like this. I'll make the neckline wider than this, but first of all, let's leave it this way. Next, I'm going to divide the bust circumference divided by 4, and I'm going to add ½ inch for ease. Next, I'm going to mark the armhole curve. For me to do that, I will divide whatever I have from my shoulder to armhole into 2, and I'm going to come in ½ inch for the front. I'll go ahead and connect this for the back first. I'm going to connect it this way, as you can see me do, and also for the front I'm going to connect it like this. Next, I will mark the depth, the neck depth. For the back, I will mark 1 inch, and for the front, I'm going to mark it 4.5. I'll go ahead and mark this. I increase the neckline to 4.5 inches, as you notice. Next, I'm going to mark the circumference of the hip line. So I'm going to make this 15 inches, and I'm going to connect it to the side seam like this. This is a flare crop top, that's why I made the hip line to be wide like this. So the next thing I'm going to do is to increase this by 2.5, and I'm going to connect it like this. So this is it after cutting the crop top. The next thing I'm going to do is to cut this out. I've added sewing allowance and cut this out like this. I will use this to cut out the front. So I'm just going to cut the neckline and the armhole. After cutting it out, this is it. This is for the front and this is for the back. Remember, you can also cut your fabric together by folding it into 4 places before you start cutting. But I did this because of the way the design of the material is. So this is the front and this is the back, as you can see. Next thing I'm going to do is to join the shoulders. I'll go ahead and sew this like this. After sewing it, this is how it's looking. Next thing we're going to do is to cut the sleeve. For us to cut that, I'll take the measurements of my armhole from this dress. The top is easier for me to do it that way, so I'll take whatever I got from here. This is what I'm going to use for the sleeve. I've gone ahead and folded my fabric into 4, as you can see, and I made it wide enough for the bell sleeve. So the next thing I'm going to do is to draw the head, the sleeve head. From this place like this, I'm going to come down 5 inches, and next is the length of the sleeve, which I used 27 inches. Next is to mark the length of what I got from the armhole curve, and then I'm going to make a diagonal line touching the place I marked now, and I'm going to divide that by 2, and then I'm going to mark the sleeve head. So from this place, I'm going to come up 1 inch and go lower like 0.5 inches and mark it like that. Next, on the hemline, I'm going to make the wideness of the bell sleeve to be like 17 inches. And then I'm going to connect this to the sleeve, the armhole. You go ahead and connect it straight like this. You can also decide to shape the side seam. So next, I'm going to go ahead and cut out the sleeve. If you have watched this video till this time, don't forget to subscribe and turn on your notification bell icon if you haven't done so, and give this video a big thumbs up. That way YouTube will understand that this video is nice and it will recommend it to other people. That's the only way you can actually support my channel. The next thing I'm going to do now is to shape the side of the bell sleeve. First, I'm going to cut the sleeve head to notch it so that I will know where the front is and where the center of the sleeve is. And also shape the front of the sleeve. So, you know, the front is different from the back. I'll go ahead and give it a notch so that I know the side that is the front and the back. Also, I'm going to cut off the hem 2.5 inches. I'm going to slant it like this so that the hem will sit properly. So this is it after cutting it. Next, I'm going to place this on the bodice, right side facing together, as you can see me do. I'm going to place this like this and sew it. After sewing the sleeve, next is for me to sew the side seam. So after sewing the side seam, this is how it's looking. I'll go ahead and hem the sleeve like this, and also I'm going to hem the lower part like this. And for the neckline, I'm going to use a bias to bind this. So I've cut out a bias strip like this. I'm going to go to my machine now, place it like this and use it and hem it. And after sewing it, this is how everything is looking. We have come to today's video. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.
So many times that I miss you. I know how to call when I want to. Now you got way bigger issues.